In this video, I'm going to show you exactly. One night, I even burst into tears while I was looking for prospects because I couldn't find anything I could help them with. My journey from a lost 16-year-old who had no idea what to do with his life to building a six-figure copywriting business in a little over a year. I was scrolling through my For You page. I saw a video that changed everything. I didn't have anything to invest, so copywriting came back as the only option. You can achieve anything you want in life very quickly, the same way I did, no matter how old you are, where you're from, or what situation you're in, by simply applying. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Alain Dobrev. I'm an 18-year-old from Bulgaria, and in this video, I'm going to share my journey from a lost 16-year-old who had no idea what to do with his life to building a six-figure copywriting business in a little over a year. Oh great, just another video of a kid online making money. I've seen this dozens of times before. Look, I'm not here to flex, call you brokey, or make you feel behind in life. My goal with this video is actually quite the opposite. Show you that you can achieve anything you want in life very quickly, the same way I did, no matter how old you are, where you're from, or what situation you're in, by simply applying the lessons I'll share through my story. The truth is, if you're watching this video, you probably want more from life. You don't want to sacrifice your family time, health, and sanity building someone else's dream, all in exchange for a paycheck that is only enough to survive. Maybe you want to travel around the world while working on your own schedule. Maybe you want to give back to your parents for all they've done for you. Or maybe you just want to live a comfortable life without stressing about money all the time. Whatever it is, you don't want to let the years pass knowing that you could have done more. Listen, I get it. At 16 years old, I felt the exact same way. I had seen my parents struggle with bills, school fees, and sacrifice everything to give me the best life they could afford. Sleep, peace of mind, even health. Deep down, I couldn't accept looking at them struggle every day without doing anything about it. I wanted to help them out in every way possible. Make them proud by showing them that all this sacrifice for me was worth it. But I also wanted to ensure that my future family never has to worry about money. Fast forward a little over 2 years to today, I achieved everything I had ever dreamt of as a confused 16-year-old. I'm making six figures per year with copyright. My mom doesn't have to work another day in her life. And I make decisions based on what I want, not based on money. If I want to travel, I can book plane tickets, a 5-star hotel, and go to Switzerland, Dubai, or anywhere else. If I want to eat something nice, I can go to the best restaurant in town. And if I want to wind off, I can go to the nicest spa, book a massage, and spend the day in peace. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I got here, but in order to do that, we need to go back to the end of 2022 and start from the beginning, when I was still just a 16-year-old with a dream. As someone whose daily routine at the time consisted of 8 hours of TikTok, I had no clue where or how to start making money. But to my surprise, one day, while I was scrolling through my For You page, I saw a video that changed everything. If you haven't guessed it already, it was a video of Andrew Tate showing off his new Bugatti. I know it's so classic, but at the time I remember thinking, how can someone make so much money to afford a car worth more than what people make in their lifetime? It didn't make sense to me. The average monthly salary in my country is $1,000 per month. But here's this guy sitting in a car worth $5 million. At that point, I was hooked. I kept seeing videos of Tate pop up everywhere, and a few weeks later, I had an interesting conversation with one of my best friends. Little did I know, it will change the trajectory of my life forever. It went something like this. Yo, bro, what do you think of this Andrew Tate guy? Oh, I'm actually in his course. Yeah, Hustlers University. What do you do there? I'm studying crypto and copyright. You know what? I'll ask my parents if I can join. Later that night, I begged my parents to let me spend my birthday money so I can join Andrew Tate's Hustlers University. After an hour of convincing, they agreed, and finally, I was in. I remember that when I joined, they made me take this quiz in order to determine what's the best business model for me based on my current situation. I didn't have anything to invest, so copywriting came back as the only option. Officially, in November 2022, my copywriting journey began. I started going through the material inside the course, and after just 2 weeks of practice, I was ready to get into outreach. Or at least that's what I thought, until I realized that it wasn't as easy as it seemed at all. At that moment, all the doubts started kicking in. How am I going to help these people? I'm not good enough. Honestly, I don't think copywriting is for me. I should probably try e-commerce. One night, I even burst into tears while I was looking for prospects because I couldn't find anything I could help them with. The truth is, that's exactly where 99% of people throw in the towel and give up on their goals. But I imagined, what happens if I give up? I disappoint myself. I accept that I won't be able to help out my partners. And I also disappoint my future family that relies on me. After putting things into perspective, giving up wasn't an option. So step by step, I continued pushing forward. I'll spare you the details because I don't want this video to become 2 hours long. But in my third month of copywriting, I landed my first client for a $200 landing page project. It wasn't life-changing money, but it was all the proof, hope, and motivation I needed to keep going after struggling for 3 months straight. And everything was going well until it wasn't. 1 week after I completed the project, the results came back and they were nowhere near what I had expected. All of the stats were red. Conversions were down. Time spent on the page was down. And the bounce rate had increased tremendously. As you can imagine, I lost the client that same day. Did I get discouraged? Absolutely. Did I give up? Absolutely not. I simply realized that my skills weren't good enough to provide results yet, so I spent my last remaining money for a course that was purely focused on writing better copies. I started practicing. I started getting feedback here and there, and my skills were improving daily. But unfortunately, I can't say the same about my outreach at the time. Now, you may be thinking, wait, you landed a client. Didn't you just continue doing the same? Well, no. Instead of repeating what I had already done, I switched to a different method because I got shiny object syndrome after seeing others do it. Let's just say that it was one of my biggest mistakes. The next 6 months were some of the darkest in my journey as a copywriter. Even though I was sending dozens of outreaches per day, I didn't land a single client. Not many people share this part of the journey, but I felt burned out, miserable, and the thoughts of giving up were stronger than ever. I thought to myself, maybe I just got lucky the first time. What if this never works out? I had only one hope left. My copywriting buddies were all in this outreach course from an online guru, so I again spent every penny I had collected over the past 6 months just to get access to that course. Honestly, the course wasn't that great, but it made me realize a huge mistake I was making in my outreach, reaching out to low quality prospects. Prospects who don't have almost any following, engagement, or list size. Prospects who aren't bringing in enough revenue with their business. Prospects who simply aren't qualified to hire a copywriter. At that moment, everything clicked. I changed my niche, started qualifying prospects harder, and a couple weeks later, I closed 2 clients in the span of a week. One of them even turned into a long-term client, and I made over $5,000 from him in the next 2 months. I felt on top of the world. I stopped outreaching, went all in on helping that client, and I felt like I had already made it. At the end of the day, I was making over double the average salary in my country just from one client. But that feeling didn't last long. 2 months after working with him, he not only gave up on launching the funnel we were working on, but he also didn't pay me $1,875 from our last deal. Just like that, I was back to square one, since I hadn't sent a single outreach in the last 3 months. If there's one thing you can learn from this, is that you should never ever stop creating other opportunities when you're already working with a client. You can always wake up tomorrow and be back at zero once again. Thankfully, this time I knew what to do. I immediately got back on track with outreach, and it didn't take long until I started closing more deals. 1 month later, in September 2023, I landed a deal for $2,000. In October, I landed another deal for $2.5K. In November, I landed another deal for $2,000. At that point, I was making 2 to 3K a month consistently, but as they say, problems in business only get bigger. So now I had yet another roadblock in front of me. Sure, I was making some money, but I didn't have a single retainer client. I was just chasing deal after deal to maintain my income, not knowing when the next one will come. It was always, I land the deal, complete the work, don't manage to upsell the client, and the next day, I'm back looking for the next one. It was an exhausting, discouraging, and depressing cycle that just kept going. I was working every second I had in the day, neglecting time with family, neglecting going out with friends, even neglecting my health just to barely scrape a couple thousand at the end of the month. Making that much may sound like a dream for you, but trust me, it was an awful experience. I knew something was wrong. I knew I could get out of this. I knew the breakthrough was close, but I just didn't know how to reach it. So what did I do? I decided to finally go all in on myself by investing $7,000 in a one-on-one mentor to help me make more while working less. It was not far from all the savings I had at the time, but that didn't scare me because I knew there was something I didn't know that was keeping me stuck and that this investment could change my life forever. Long story short, that's exactly what happened. In February 2024, 3 months after working with my one-on-one mentor, I hit my first $10,000 month. In the span of a few months, I went from making some money to hitting numbers I had only dreamt of when I started. As they say, nothing happens, and nothing happens, then everything happens. For me, that first taste of making 5 figures was everything. Finally, I could experience all the moments I had visualized for so long. In March, I booked a trip to Belgrade with my partners. We ate at the best restaurants, went shopping, and had an overall amazing experience. 1 month after that, we went to Bucharest. In May, I took my mom to the most luxurious 5-star resort in the country. As a 17-year-old, it was a dream come true. At the end of the day, it was my parents' first time living as well. So being able to share my success with them was by far the most fulfilling thing I've done in my now 18 years of life. And I know that suddenly spending that much money probably wasn't the smartest move, but it didn't hurt me because this time I not only managed to maintain my income, I also went up to $15,000 per month in April 2024. Finally, I could help my parents with bills, groceries, repairs around the house, and more. I could go to any restaurant I wanted without even looking at the prices. I could travel anywhere around Europe, sleep only in 5-star hotels, and enjoy the best possible experiences. In September, I even went on a crazy trip to Dubai with one of my partners, and obviously, I took my parents with me as well. By now, you probably understand to what level copywriting changed my life. So I'll finish off with a special message to every copywriter watching this. Listen, right now, the journey may seem dark. Maybe you're confused, overwhelmed, and lost about how everything works. Maybe you've been doing this for a few months without any results. Or maybe you're not making as much as you'd want. Whatever it is, I've been through it all. But the only reason why I'm speaking to you today is because I never gave up, no matter how tough the journey got. So I want you to promise, not only to me, but more importantly to yourself, that you never give up on your goals as well. Do we have a deal? Great. Now, I want to promise you something. With this channel, I do my absolute best to help you make it with copywriting by sharing everything I've learned along the way. Why? Because I know firsthand how it feels to achieve what your younger self dreamt of, and I want all of you to experience it. I consider it my duty. All you need to do is click the subscribe button below so you never miss any important piece about it. Remember, we're in this together. Let's get it.